Deanna Maurice, weekly craft and lifestyle content. Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make Jamaican style dumpling the easy way, my mom's recipe. Shh, don't tell her I taught you guys. Okay, so let's hop into the ingredients and the measurements. So you're going to want to sift in about 2 cups of regular flour. I sift it because I want my dumpling to be nice and airy. If you don't have a sifter, don't worry, you don't have to do it. Now add in 1 cup of cornmeal. This just helps with a little bit of extra crunch to the dumpling and gives it a nice texture. Then you're going to go in with 2 to 3 tablespoons of baking powder, not soda, powder, because you want your dumplings to rise. And this is exactly what the baking powder is going to do. It's going to assist it in rising to give it that fluffy texture that you want. The next thing is to add in a little bit of brown sugar. This is optional, but I do like to have a little sugar in mine. So that's the way my mom taught me how to make it, and it tastes really nice. So I use about 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I try to sift it in as well. You know, sifting brown sugar is difficult, but just use your hands and kind of push it through. You just want to make sure you don't have any lumps and bumps in your mixture. Now with everything all in place, this is what it looks like in my mixing bowl. I'm going to go in and put a dash of salt in. And from here, I'm going to give it a dry mix, just so that all of my ingredients can be incorporated before I add in my wet ingredients. For my wet ingredient, I will be using milk today. This is how I prefer it. So this is 1 cup of skim milk. You can use water if you'd like to. You don't have to use milk. And then we're going to mix that on a medium speed for about 2 minutes, just until everything is incorporated. For this dumpling, you don't necessarily want it to be a dough because we're not going to be kneading anything with our hand. Then I added in about 1/4 cup of milk. So in total, I used about 1 cup and 1/4 of milk to get it to the consistency that I wanted it to be. So then I mixed it for about another 30 seconds, and then this is what I was left with.
Hey there, just a quick reminder, if you want to join the crew, go ahead and hit the subscription button, as well as give this video a big thumbs up if you are enjoying it. And last but not least, click the bell so you can be notified each and every time I upload.
In total, there's about 1 inch of oil in the bottom of my pan. This pan has been on the stove for about 10 minutes now. Meanwhile, I was making the mixture so that my oil could get to the right temperature. I turn it on to about 4 or 5, which is medium heat on my stove top. And then off to the side, you guys see I have so your first dumpling should always be your test dumpling. And so this is my test dumpling to just make sure that I have enough baking powder and it is exactly the way that I want it to be. But I'm using a regular spoon, and I just dip it into the water. The water helps to release the old batter, and then allows it, when I get ready to put a new dumpling in, it allows it to slip off of my spoon. So you don't want to make your dumplings too big, especially if this is your first time making them, because you run the risk of inside not being cooked. But this is my trick. I take a fork and I poke holes into it, and then I flip my dumpling over. That helps to make sure that the insides of them are cooked properly. I like to flip my dumplings continuously just so that they don't burn. When you're OG like my mom, you don't have to flip them as much. But because I want to make sure that I have an even, consistent dumpling, I flip mine at least 2 to 3 times to make sure everything is cooked and everything is crispy. And then this is the way that they turn out. Doesn't that look amazing? And so after you let them rest for a while, they'll come up to this color. So this breakfast was requested from my husband, and this is chicken Vienna sausage that we use in Jamaica. It is directly from Jamaica, but we can buy it here. So it comes directly out of the can, and you just chop it up a little bit. And here I'm just kind of cooking it up in a little bit of oil, frying it a little bit, if you will. And then I'm going to be putting some onions and peppers on it. Well, actually I didn't use like chopped onions, I used onion seasoning. You guys will see. Here I'm just cutting up some tomatoes. And this is up to preference. Honestly, if you don't want to put the tomatoes or the bell pepper in it, you don't have to. But I like it to have a little extra something in there. So that's the reason why I am putting the tomatoes and the bell peppers. Okay, so after you chop up your bell peppers and your tomatoes, you want to give that a good stir. And then we are going to move on to seasoning our sausages. And what I will be using today is minced garlic. Just put a little scoop of that in there, as well as some jerk seasoning. The brand that I'm using is Walker's Wood. And then I'm going to be putting garlic and onion powder in there as well. With a little bit of seasoning salt and Old Bay. And now we're going to give it a good stir. So the last couple things that we're going to add is to kind of help make the sauce for the sausage, and that is some barbecue sauce, ketchup, and water. And then we're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes, and then it's all going to kind of like combine together and just be a great topping to go along with your dumplings. Some people like to have this on the side of their dumpling, or some people like to put it directly on top, whichever one you prefer. Some people like to crack the dumpling open and then kind of stuff it in the middle like a sandwich. So it's all up to preference. But we definitely like to eat this on the side of our dumplings because it's just so yummy, guys. If you are missing home, if you're from the islands or you've never been and you want to have a taste of Jamaica, definitely try these dumplings. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I'm so happy that you stayed until the end. So please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for a new video. Stay blessed and always remember to have good vibes. Bye.